Okay, it's been a while since I've done anything to the Acura. I unfortunately had to get the transmission replaced. That was a sad bill, but nonetheless, she's back to perfect. And I've never liked the way the heel toe is set up, so I bought some Science of Speed pedals, and I'm going to try to get this set up in a way that's better for me. Hopefully the rain noise isn't too bad. I'm in a different house now. I don't really have the nice garage I used to. But I've got this BMW Z3, and I've never been a huge BMW fan, but I gotta admit I really like this car. And what I found is that the pedal placement on this car is way better, at least for me, for heel toe. So what I did is I took a look at these pedals and I measured the distance between here, basically. So this distance here, and it's about 2 inches, which is about a ½ inch less than the Acura. So I am going to target that with my new pedals. So a little further flavor on what I do and why. So, I read some articles about how this car is set up beautiful for heel toe, and that might be true. For the heel toe, normally you're here and then you're kind of kicking your heel down to catch the bottom of the pedal. And even this Science of Speed pedal kind of comes out this way a bit on the gas side to kind of facilitate that. I've had 3 ankle surgeries, so this whole crazy movement is a bit much for me. But what I find with the BMW is I can easily kind of get on this side of the pedal here and then still on that side do it this way with the right hand side of my foot. So that may not be right, but that's the way I like to do it. I love driving the BMW, so I'm going to try to get this set up similar to that. Okay, so here's the pedal setup. So your resting plate, obviously, clutch, brake, gas. These covers, at least on mine, I don't know if it changes, these just kind of pull off for the clutch and the brake pedal. This pedal's a little bit different. I'm having a little bit difficult time getting the lighting good, but in any case, here is your rubber cover, so these just slip off again on the clutch pedal and the brake pedal. On the gas pedal here, it's a little different. There's a bit of a clip, at least in my case, it's plastic. So these are rubber here, these guys are rubber, but this one is plastic, it's a little bit different. And I was able to pull from the top and kind of just let the edge off and then slide it down. So I've loosened it already, and here you are, and I'll do a close-up so you can kind of see what that looks like. Okay, so a little bit closer look at this pedal. So basically, this is the top side here, and there's not really much of a area that catches. See, there's just a little lip there. So you kind of just pull it back a bit and then slide the whole thing downward. So this sits like this, you pull up here, and it kind of slides down. There's a bigger catch at the bottom, and the sides, you're not going to really be able to pull them off from the side. You might be able to, you probably crack it. So in any case, that's how you get this off. Next thing I'm going to do is just kind of put some paper towels down here, because you are going to have to drill through these pedals in order to mount the other pedals on. Okay, I've changed the lighting up a bit. I've got some paper towels down. I think we're going to go down this path of easiest to hardest. So the easiest is you have the footrest. One thing to note, when you put this in, you are actually permanently affecting the car. So we have this plastic plate here, and we're basically going to use these self-tapping screws and drill it through the recessed holes, and it's going to go into the plastic. So for the purists, that might not be for you, but FYI, that's kind of how it goes. My car has some accident damage, so really, plus I'm never selling it, so I'm just going to make it the way I want it. There is not an enormous amount of space to kind of get a drill in there. I'm like a walking, talking Ryobi fan, but I've got this shorter version. It does seem to fit, but you're going to want something compact, or you're going to want to do it by hand. Okay, so that wasn't horrible. The only thing I'd say is you got to kind of push it this way to kind of get it nice and flush on this side. Mine could definitely go up another 1/8 of an inch. Also, it was difficult to get the screws nice and flush. I started it with the drill and then I put them in by hand. So this screw came in nice and flush. This one's like a shy on an angle. I mean, you'll never see it practically once this is done, but still, I like to generally do things pretty solid, and whatever, that's a B- solution on that particular pedal, but we'll do a better job on the others. So next we're going to do the clutch pedal. There's the 3 holes, these upper 2 and the bottom one. I was reading the instructions from Science of Speed. These are Science of Speed pedals, if I didn't mention that. I think they're the competition versions, but in any case. They mentioned actually super gluing this on. Super gluing this on and then using that to hold the drill in place with the holes that are there. That seems like a great idea, so I'm going to go down that path. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to put some super glue on the back here. I got this gel super glue, which I'm actually a pretty big fan of because it doesn't go crazy. I'm going to stay away from the edges, mainly so I can position it on the pedal with my fingers without getting it too far out of alignment, because I guess once it's on there, it's kind of, well, I mean, you could take it off, but it'd be a little bit of a pain. Alright, I'm going to attempt to video this. I'm probably going to knock the camera over, but we'll give it a shot. By the way, I did put a piece of cardboard underneath this, these paper towels just to make sure if I drop any glue it doesn't get under there, but we'll give this a shot. Just going to stick in the middle. Okay. I'm gonna set my fingers up. All right. All right. Let that sit. I'll do the other pedal. I'm actually cheating a bit this way because I want to get this pedal closer to that pedal, which is going to be a unique process, but that's what I'm trying to do. Okay, we'll let those sit a few minutes. Okay, now I'm going to try to drill out the, I'll call it the pedal plate. So I'm going to start with the bottom one, which is in the middle. It's probably going to be difficult to get to, but we'll see how this works out. The Science of Speed instructions say a 3/16 drill bit, which is what I've picked up here. I'm pushing the pedal down to get an angle. It's going to be really difficult to drill those top ones. Well, that actually went quite smoothly. Okay, so next we're going to use the supplied hardware from Science of Speed. They've got this, countersunk Allen screw top with an elastic stop nut. So I'm going to go pop that on from the back. Okay, that wasn't bad. So with that secured, now we're going to work on the upper 2. Oh, it's tough to do with your hand. Alright, well, it worked. It's a little bit of a pain, but it worked. Got the other screw on there, and then we'll do the final one on the clutch pedal. Alright, one of the screwed in pedals is done. That looks pretty solid. And we'll move to the brake pedal. Now, I attempted to put this on a little that way. I just want to make sure I've got room everywhere behind. I do. I'm only about probably maybe a 1/16 of an inch further this way, so the pedal's actually a little off center that way. I'm just trying to get these two pedals closer together for what I'm looking for. Again, look, you want OEM, knock yourself out. That's just not what I'm looking for in this particular case. Alright, the pedal popped, but it coned pretty good, so I think we've got a good pilot, so I'll keep going. Oh great, it's all gluey. Wonderful. Okay, let's see if we can get this bolt on. I'll tell you, the top ones are going to be tough. There's just not a lot of room. Shoot, there's not a lot of room for the nut either. So what I'm seeing is there's obviously this post that comes on and is welded to the pedal plate here, and this nut barely has enough room to fit in here, so I'm gonna have to kind of manhandle that through. I think it's gonna be okay, but it's a little tight. So I guess be cautious to make sure wherever this hole goes through that you got room for the nut behind it. It's gonna be close, but it should be all right. Okay, now I'm gonna try to drill out one of these top holes. This is gonna be a little tough because it's barely gonna fit in there with the drill. There's really not enough room. I'm gonna try to get a smaller drill bit. Okay, so I've dremeled down my drill bit as far as I can, so hopefully we can fit in here now. All right. Now for the final brake pedal hole. Just snugging up some of the other bolts with the wrench, so I don't strip out the Allen key. Getting a lot more leverage that way. I don't want these to loosen up, obviously. Okay, now for the final challenge, which is this gas pedal. Now, this is a different setup. So these had these flat plates, basically a bar with a flat plate welded on top. Here we've got like a concave setup. This kind of dips in, so there's probably not too many options for the holes. Maybe it goes this way. I'll have to go take a look. I don't think so, though. I believe it goes this way. Oh, yeah, they're going, okay, from the side. Now, I wanted to be 2 inches from here to here if I could, so I'm going to take a look. I actually wish this was up here like this, because I could probably reach better, but, you know, obviously it's got a curvature, so that's not going to happen. Let me see what options we have here. Not a lot, because of this post. And this one is using self-tapping screws, so there's not a lot of options here. So I'm gonna go double check the directions, but this might be a little more challenging to get where I want. Okay, so there are 2 options here apparently. So we can bolt this directly to here, which is gonna be a bit challenging to kind of pre-drill. I guess we'd have to get into this plate somewhere. It's not going to be that easy to do, to be honest with you. I might even get some longer screws. Also, there's an option where we put this back on and drill through this. I generally don't like drilling through OEM stuff, but I really want to get this pedal just a notch this way. I want to be 2 inches from this side to this. And I'm really just trying to mirror what BMW does. Just like I said, it happens to fit for both the size of my foot, the fact that I've had some ankle challenges and surgeries, and the way that I want to do my heel toe, which is really more of a side foot than it is a heel toe. So I'll have to think about this a little bit longer, and then I'll show you what I came up with for a plan. Okay, so I've concluded my plan. I am going to put this back on and I'm going to drill through it. The reason I'm doing that is 2 things. One, it'll be easier to drill into this and then hold the drill steady when I've got to go through the metal, so that's one thing. In addition to that, I'm just comparing it to the BMW pedals. So this brake pedal, when you press it down, is not... basically the gas pedal on a BMW is higher, so it's easier to kind of get to. I think that's probably about accurate what I'm trying to say there. So I'd also like to kind of keep this extra space to give me a chance to be able to kind of pop with my foot on the right hand side. So we're going to give this a shot. I don't love the idea of drilling through this piece of plastic, but I'm keeping this car till death, so I got at least another 20 years for that unless I bite it in a fiery crash, so I'm going to go for it. Okay, well, here it goes. We'll see how this ends up. Be careful you don't drill into the back of the car. Alright, got that in. You could tell I went off center intentionally. See if I regret that, which I may. Let's see. I don't even think this is going to reach the metal. I've got some longer screws also. So it comes with these little guys. I mean, I guess I could just screw it into the plastic, but I'd really hate that to get loose. That would be not ideal. So I grabbed these. I'm going to go get something a little longer. All right, that got on there pretty good, actually. Let's hand tighten it for surety. That's pretty good. All right. All right, so now my thought is, you can tell I'm definitely kicked over. You can even see the outline of the pedal on the outside there, or maybe you can't with the camera nonetheless. I think I'm gonna just go for a second bolt here and hold off on this guy. Let's see how I did on dimensions. I wanted to be about 2 inches. Actually, I'm right about there. Ooh, this might work out great. I'll be very excited if it does. All right, I'm gonna go with the second bolt here because I think this one's gonna hit this bar, and then we'll go from there. Nah, it's stripped. It's stripped, so I'm gonna go with a little bit bigger screw. I'm gonna drill out that third hole first and see how that goes. It's right up against the weld, so I don't know if that's gonna work. Let's see what we got here. I don't think I'm gonna make it through that. Well, maybe. Let's try it. I'm worried I'm gonna hammer right through that into the back of the car. I'm gonna get a piece of wood to put behind it. All right, let's see what we got. I think I caught the weld, so it's not really going anywhere. I'm gonna leave that alone. Let me put one of the small screws in here, see if that makes it. Actually, the small screws catching pretty good, I think. That actually feels okay. That might have done it. I'm gonna pull this stuff out and see how it feels. So I've got to say, it feels pretty decent, so I think this worked. I did get those 2 pedals closer. With the aluminum looking pedals, maybe I'll remove the paper towel to give you another view. Okay, so this is kind of the finished product. So again, the brake pedal, I kicked a little bit to the right, and the gas pedal, I kicked a little bit to the left. I did have a tough time getting the screws in the gas pedal, but it did seem to work. I think the last test is the test drive. Well, it worked. I gotta be honest, it's very close to the way a BMW pedal is set up, which is exactly what I was going for. So if you're looking to get your pedals more closely related to the way BMW does it, then this is a solution that works. You know, for me with my ankle surgeries, you know, the only thing I can do is a left side of the foot, right side of the foot. I just can't do the real strong heel toe like a pro would. So for me, it's been a perfect solution. So good luck. Thank you.